Hey everyone, today's video is going to be about the pros and cons of living in a camper. Well, some things are that I put down for like pros and cons. They're the same thing, but then there's a positive side to that and a negative side. So to start out, obviously you're downsizing from a normal suburban house or an apartment or whatever you're in to a camper. It's obviously a small space. So small space can be a pro and a con, and I'll explain why. So the negative side of a small space is hard to find places for all your stuff. You already have to get rid of so much stuff, and then you'll get in there and be like, wow, I really don't even have room for I thought I got rid of a lot, but I still have to get rid of more, So it's hard to find spaces for all your stuff. Hard to find like a lone space for your spouse or whatever. Like our camper's literally 2 rooms, like the bathroom and then like the whole like kitchen, counter space, bedroom area. So sometimes it's hard to find space for that. And most people can't stand their spouse or their kids. Like they're like, oh, I can't live in that small of a space. I can't handle being around my wife that long, or, I can't handle my crazy kids that long. But I don't know, I feel like it's all on how you raise them too. Like, I love Alma so much. I love my husband so much. I want to be around them like as much as possible. And my husband feels the same. Like, we just can't get enough of each other. We love being all close knit and everything like that. So those are some of the negatives. So it just depends on what kind of person you are. I mean, small space is good for people who want to like know their family and, be close together with them. So the positive side to a small space, definitely less things, like freedom from all the material things in your life. You don't have to worry about, it's like less maintenance, like less to clean, and like I said, closer relationship with your children and your spouse. Do everything together, you eat together, we sleep together all in the same bed. It's not like your kids are in their own room all day just playing on the computer or playing Nintendo games all day. It's like you actually do stuff with them. You're always kind of like together. A tribal situation. We just feel like we're like a tribe. We're a family. We travel together. We do everything together. Another thing that is a negative, a con, is preparation. Especially where we live in Minnesota, where it's wintertime, we need to prepare for it. You need to skirt in your camper underneath and insulate it. You need to insulate the windows. You need to put heat tape on your hoses and then put the insulating foam around that and, tape that on. What else was there? I think that's all I can think of for now. But yeah, just winterizing certain stuff. And if you don't prepare for it, then you're going to be freezing or other things are going to go wrong. And there are a lot of things that can go wrong with a camper because they're definitely not made to live in. So you just got to keep up on everything, keep fixing it. We've had so much go wrong. We've had to fix like our sink, all the plumbing under the sink. We've had to fix plumbing under the bathtub. There was at one point where it froze, but now we should be good. We got like heat tape all over that, all over the plumbing underneath. Haven't had any problems with the toilet. At first, our hose did freeze up. We had heat tape on it, but I guess, I don't know, like the breaker tripped or something, so the hose was frozen a couple different times, so we had to, make sure that turned back on and make sure we didn't have too much on that breaker or whatever outside. So that's been good so far. That's been good since. But yeah, you just got to keep up on everything because a lot of different things can go wrong, leaking. Try to get like a quality camper in the first place. We've been looking into even like upgrading to a different one where it doesn't have so many seams. It's just like one seam and there's like no leaks. It's like 100% guarantee. So that's probably something that we're going to be looking into because it would be nice to upgrade and, get something a little newer, get something with solar panels and travel around more, be more mobile or boondock, stuff like that. Another negative that's also kind of a positive is we have 2 dogs. So living with dogs, it can be very hard. They've got some, responsibility that goes to them. We have to walk them in order for them to go to the bathroom every day. So that's why I say it's kind of a positive, because when you have dogs, it gets you out of the house more. Because we'll have to walk them several times a day in order to go to the bathroom, because the spot we're on, this little lot, it's not like they can just keep going outside and just be tied to like a leash. That's like cruel. So I'll walk them several different times throughout the day and, get them to poop and pee and stuff like that. So it definitely gets you healthier if you're walking more and walking your dogs. But yeah, it's also fun having dogs. Alma loves the dogs. Like, she's in love with them. She just walks around the house all day going, Brew, Brew, because one of them's name is Brutus and then the other's Boris, but she doesn't even bother trying to say Boris. She just goes, Brew, come here, Brew, Brew. So it's really cute. She freaking loves them. Another thing that's a positive and a negative is obviously we have a baby and we live in the camper with a baby. Most people definitely wouldn't even like touch living in a camper with a baby because, most people have their baby in a crib, have all these toys just flooded around the house. They just sit in their house all day, watch TV, watch cartoons, have their kids play, Nintendo or video games or whatever, like inside. Like, I don't know anybody like who's like a parent that actually like goes outside with their kids and like does activities, especially in the winter, much less summer. It's just so weird how people live. But so most people living in a camper with a baby, they just would not even do it. But Alma, like literally all of her toys that she has fit in a 5-gallon bucket. If you can imagine a 5-gallon bucket with a lid on it, that's all of her toys. So when we are inside, if it's just like a really crappy cold day or just, got back from a walk and she wants to go around and play and get some energy out too, she's got all her toys in there and she'll play with those and she's definitely happy with them. Like, kids don't need a bunch of plastic junk to, satisfy them in life. So, yeah, that's just what most people do, I guess. But for our lifestyle, camper definitely works. But the positive side to having a baby in a camper, it gets you outside because you don't want them cooped up in there all day. You want to get outside. You want to go for walks. Like, I took her on a sleigh ride. It was awesome. We have this sleigh thing. It's pretty much like a sled or whatever with a rope, and I just pulled her around like a couple miles and walked the dogs at the same time. It was really awesome. So, especially in the winter, you can still make fun out of it and have a lot of fun. In the summer, bike rides all the time with the baby bike seat in the back. Just walking, going to parks, just getting out, going hang out with family, other kids, cousins, stuff like that. So having a baby in a camper can definitely be a positive. And it'll like free up your life more to spend more time with your kids instead of working so much to afford a house that you don't even get to enjoy your family in or get to live in, So I definitely love this. I can't wait to be like more nomadic and just travel all the time and have Alma see just way cool stuff and maybe even have more kids. We'll have to see what happens. Another negative or con, laundry. I actually hand wash my laundry because when we first moved in, I tried going to the laundromat with Alma and she just wanted to walk around everywhere, and it was a weird laundromat. Like, they left the doors wide open, so she kept running out and she wanted to like walk around outside, so it's like, can't do that. So I just hand wash the laundry. It's actually much quicker than going to like a laundromat or a washing machine. Just hand wash it in a bucket and rinse it, and I have like a little rack that unfolds and stands up, and I just hang them on there. It's really quick, really easy. I like it. So I actually hand wash clothes, but a lot of people think that's a negative, and it's kind of a negative. It takes, a little extra time, but whatever. You do what you gotta do. And then some positives I didn't mention yet are it's a healthier lifestyle, I feel like. We lived in a camper a couple years ago for a little over a year, and I just loved it. We were like mostly raw vegan the whole time for like 6 to 8 months out of living there, and just fruit. We didn't even have to worry about using our stove or our microwave, and we don't have that in the camper we're at, but the one we did have that. But we just used our Vitamix all day and food processor, making raw vegan meals all the time and smoothies. And juicing, stuff like that. And you get out of the house more, so it like goes hand in hand, like eating all the fruit and vegetables and vegan foods, then getting outside and getting active, just coming back to sleep, pass out, get your 8 to 12 hours, whatever you're into, get all your sleep in. And another thing is you don't have a lot of counter space and you don't have a lot of cupboard space, so it's less, you're going to store less junk food up there. Like, when we go to the store, we know what we're eating, we know when we're going to eat it, so we don't buy a bunch of junk food and expect it. We don't have like a pantry full of junk that you can always go in there and like grab stuff out of. So it's always like, simple stuff like beans and rice and potatoes for like or pastas and sauces for like your dry foods. And then we'll have a whole counter full of like fruits and not too many vegetables or greens. And we don't have a refrigerator, so we don't really do the greens, but definitely a full counter of bananas, have some watermelons sometimes, couple avocados, some persimmons this time of year. Those are good. I'm trying to think. Dates, boxes of dates. Those are easy. Yeah, so stuff like that. Just living a healthier lifestyle in a camper is just really good. It's awesome. And another positive thing is you can be mobile. You can travel around. You can see the world, you know, or the country. I mean, obviously you can't go over oceans, but and it's a lot cheaper than a house, and the lot rent's way cheaper than like an apartment rent or anything. Like we're paying like a little over $300 a month where we're at, and it's just so amazing to go from, you know, an $800 mortgage or whatever to like $300. It's just really freeing. It's awesome. And you don't have to pay property taxes and a lot of other things that go into buying a house, you know. You don't have a trash bill and all that. And you're definitely saving money and just being as free and as sovereign as possible. That's my goal in life. Stay healthy, be a good example for Alma, and yeah, it's going awesome so far, and we love it. So these are my pros and cons of living in a camper, tiny home, small space. And let me know what you think if you're living this lifestyle. And we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.